Welcome to the road to 1 million US dollars. Let's get right into the Bitcoin chart for today, starting on this 1 day time frame for Bitcoin, because again, we have touched this Fibonacci golden pocket right here, sitting between 62,000 and 62.7K. So between this 0.618 level and this 0.65 level on the Fibonacci levels. And as I said in recent videos as well, this Fibonacci golden pocket is typically a strong level of resistance. And of course, earlier today, we already wicked up to this level, but got another rejection back down on the lower time frames. Now, on this 4-hour time frame, it looks like we might be going for another test of this Fibonacci golden pocket. And as I said in my previous videos as well, guys, like at this point, we have seen so many touches with this Fibonacci golden pocket that if this continues and we have this ascending line of support here, as you can see, so long as we hold this ascending trend line as a level of support, we are eventually going to break out of the top of this Fibonacci golden pocket. Although, of course, you can just see the Bitcoin price losing this as a level of support, which should be a warning signal for you in the price action that potentially we could be going lower, for example, back down to this 0.5 level, sitting at about 59.5K, which could act as a short-term level of support. But either way, what you definitely can say is that bullish momentum has indeed returned in the market here. We are seeing at least the price creep up a little bit back up to this level right here. And I do think it is starting to look more and more likely that we are actually going to break this as a level of resistance, which should be very exciting. And in the case that that actually does happen, I think it could be quite likely that we go up to this Fibonacci level right here, the 0.786 Fibonacci level, sitting at about 65.5K for the Bitcoin price. And in fact, this also aligns right here with the bigger support and resistance levels for Bitcoin. Now, the top of that Fibonacci golden pocket is somewhere right here. It's at about 62.7K. This big level of resistance goes up to 62.4K. So again, if you see that breakout above here, that confirmed breakout, I think again, very likely we are heading up to this next level of resistance above that, sitting from 65,000 all the way up to 66,000 US dollars for the Bitcoin price, where we should start to see some resistance. For now, what we just need to focus on is this breakout right here, as well as the Fibonacci golden pocket. Now, one other way of looking at it is actually as an ascending triangle pattern that Bitcoin has been forming over quite some time. I see August 15th here. Well, currently it looks to be at the exact point of the breakout, basically. If you zoom in here a little bit, it is on this trend line as I'm recording this video. Now, in the case that you actually see a rejection back down, again, it would invalidate that price target. But what would actually completely invalidate the pattern is something like this. And then you actually break to the downside of this ascending triangle. Then it would completely invalidate this pattern, and especially if it is at the end here. There's also no way of, for example, doing something like this, like a fake out to the downside and then breaking out. So that is just something to watch out for. And ultimately, this is all going to play out before the 27th of August. So in about 4 or 5 days from when I'm recording this. So it should be some very exciting times ahead here for the Bitcoin price. Now moving on to the Bitcoin liquidation heat map. First of all, on the 1 month time frame, as I talked about in yesterday's video as well, we had quite a bit of liquidity sitting at about 62,000 US dollars for the Bitcoin price. And I said it was quite likely that we would take out this level of liquidity. Now, of course, earlier today, we saw a wick up to this level so far. And we took out all of this liquidity right here. So we took out over $3 billion worth of short positions out of the market here. So all of them lost their money on their trade. And now we are seeing the Bitcoin price potentially coming to grab more of this liquidity to the upside. And there is even liquidity as high as 64.2K for the Bitcoin price. And there is also quite a bit of liquidity sitting at 70.4K for the Bitcoin price as well. So these could be some interesting levels to pay attention to if we start to see more levels of resistance being broken here. However, if we also zoom in here to the lower time frame, you can see that we just took out the biggest level of liquidity, again at about 62K. Now we do have more liquidity as high as about 63.3K potentially. However, you can also see that there's quite a bit of liquidity to the downside here. So especially if you see another big rejection from this golden pocket here, and for example, we lose this trend line as a level of support, we might actually grab all of this liquidity to the downside, for example, at 57.7K, which would look something like this in the charts, right? So it would reach the price level down here in the case that you actually see a big rejection down from this Fibonacci golden pocket once again. Now, I know that at this point, I'm basically just the Fibonacci golden pocket connoisseur at this point. I'm talking about it every single day. So once we break it, I promise I will shut up about it. Now, one other interesting thing that I was also taking a look at on my own time over the last couple of days was this, which is the RSI momentum indicator for Bitcoin on the 1 day time frame, which has now broken out of this previous high, basically. So it broke out, basically kind of retested this and got a resumption to the upside. Now, even though it hasn't broken out here yet, this RSI definitely has. So that is something noteworthy in my personal opinion, at least. And also, if I take a look at the MACD indicator right here, again on that daily time frame, you can still see that we are getting this bullish momentum, and it appears to be basically resuming further to the upside so far. So of course, I showed you guys this MACD indicator when we got this first move here, saying, guys, Bitcoin just flipped, right? Is this video that I made right here 3 days ago. And last time we got a near 20% move to the upside. So we might see something similar here so long as we see this trend continue. And so far we are just seeing this MACD build up every day. Now, of course, I will let you guys know if I start to see a decline again, by of course updating you guys every single day as I have been doing for the last 160 days or something like that. Lastly, quickly taking a look at the Bitcoin ETF flow tables for today. Yesterday we saw another net inflow. So yeah, we are basically keeping this streak alive of net inflows every single day. And as I have been saying, well, ever since we started getting these inflows, basically, so long as this continues, likely the Bitcoin price is going to keep pumping. Look, boys, before I close off here today, if you are currently trading crypto with leverage and you are not trading on some of the lowest fees exchanges in the crypto space, then what are you even doing? If you are trading on Bybit or you're trading on Coinbase, what are you doing, bro? The fees are literally 10x higher than, for example, on MEXC. So just to give you a quick example, the fees on Bybit are 0.1% for taker fees, and on MEXC, they are 0.01%, right? So that's 10x lower. Coinbase is even more expensive than Bybit. So again, guys, if you are trading with leverage, then make sure to look up the fees of the exchange that you are using right now. And I can basically guarantee you at that point that MEXC will have lower fees because they have the lowest fees in the crypto space. However, the downside of this is that they do require KYC, so they require some ID verification. Now, if you cannot KYC on MEXC, or you can simply not register on MEXC because maybe you are in the United States, well, in that case, I recommend trading on WeX, because on WeX you have no KYC or VPN requirements. And besides that, the trading fees are also very low. So the fees on WeX are normally 0.02 to 0.06. However, I negotiated a deal directly with WeX that actually gives you a 33% discount on trading fees. And that is only if you register with this link in the video description. So again, guys, regardless of if you are trading with KYC, without KYC, make sure you are trading with the lowest fees, because in that case, you are saving a ton of money there, right? So just wanted to quickly shout that out. Thank you very much for watching this video once again, and I will see you tomorrow in the next one.